You know how I go. 8 carries, 8 touchdowns. Shit.
Yeah, is that what it was?
You want to play for the Giants?
I'll suit up for them right now. I'll play both ways.
You sound like Kenny Gainwell over there, man, running for 10 yards a carry as a 14-year-old kid on varsity. Did you see that shit, man? Kenny Gainwell, he's running for like 10 yards a carry when he was a freshman in high school for varsity. 10 yards a carry. That's nuts.
That's ridiculous. Have you seen the Manning's nephew?
The referee just be like, first down, first down, first down.
Yeah.
Dude, exactly. Oh, man. So, yeah, we're just going to be reviewing the injury report. Steffi's gonna do her thing, and then we're just going to comment along with the games and talk about some of the mismatches that some players might have, who's going to end up coming out on top. That's what
Just say we live right now.
Oh, I know we're live. I always do this.
What I said. We did bullshit before.
Okay, that was up, man. I like that shit. Natural. Okay.
Yeah. It's all natural on this, all right?
We roll into it, man. We roll into it. All right, so let's go ahead and kick this episode off. You ready? Let's do it.
Yeah,
Glad I am.
This is Fantasy Intervention. Now here to intervene with your fantasy life, Chase Vernon.
What's going on, guys? Welcome on to another episode of Fantasy Intervention. We are coming at you hot and heavy tonight. We got the Rehab report with StephieSmalls in the house. And, of course, we had to bring on a special guest. So, first off, how are you doing, Steffi? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm fixing my hair so I don't touch it the entire show because Corey's going to end up messaging me like halfway through and telling me to stop touching my hair. So I just pinned my hair back. But I'm excited.
Anyways, I'll touch my hair for you.
I know, but I do it all the time. It's my New Year's resolution.
Got that alfalfa thing going right now. What's up? Hey, Lawrence, what's going on, man? How are you tonight?
I'm good, man. I can't call it, man. Hey, Steph, do what you got to do right here. You got to get you some of these right here.
I barely brushed my hair. I brushed it because you're coming on.
This right here, this that.
I'm almost there, I think.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it, man. Troy's actually very excited for this episode, man. He wanted to see you on here with us, of course. So I'm excited to go through this real quick, man. Before we get this ball rolling, can you let everybody know where to find you, what you're doing, why people know who you are?
Shoot, what I be doing? I be watching football.
I love that.
You could find me right here, like it say on the screen, baby. Lord, don't lose on the Twitter. If you mess with that Instagram, at Fantasy Football Lord, I be doing my little thud thizzle on the podcast, Lord Don't Lose podcast, and you know that's just how I get down, man.
Dude, love it, man. Love it. Excited to have you on, man. We've been talking about having you on now for whatever, a month now. Right?
I appreciate y'all having me on, man. This is good too. They're good, man. Cause like now that they see y'all collabing with my ghetto country ass, everybody like, oh shit, we could chop it with this dude now. We could do something.
Oh, dude, man, like your little clips and everything are so like just on point. Like we love everything you're doing. We actually have this thing called Quick Shots over there at Fantasy Intervention, and it's pretty much what you're already doing. But you do it better than we do, man. So, it's something as to where, like, we're learning from you to an extent.
Yeah. And I just fangirl over you, so it's, like, not really.
Hey, man. Hey, look, you were just telling me you finna be a doctor. You better chill out now. I would be...
Oh, man.
Blowing all off that.
Oh, man. So, let's go ahead, Steph. What do we got lined up for us tonight? What's going on?
Okay. So this is crazy because there's really not that many injuries. Obviously, the injury everyone wants to talk about is Mahomes. I get it, and we're going to get there, and I'm going to do my whole spiel. But we'll start with the Bucks and the Packs game. The Packer game. Why did I
say the Pack?
Well, early to be messing up. Okay, so with the Buccaneers, something that I totally forgot about is defensive tackle Vita Vea actually is probably coming back this week. So we're talking about this 350-pound boy that has been elevated from IR. He practiced last week. They're pretty confident that he's going to come back. So this is someone that if you're a big PFF guy, he is one of the best linemen. I mean, in the 5 games he played, we're talking about like 10 tackles, 2 sacks. So this is someone that is definitely adding a threat to this game, which is awesome for them, of course.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Which is awesome.
He's a monster, but honestly, like this defense has been dominant even without him. So just adding him to that mix makes it even scarier.
Scary.
I mean,
yeah.
Vita Vea was
they're
one of my
already the best rush defense, right?
Right.
And they put that big old athletic body in the middle to clog it up some more, man. I didn't even know he was until just now. I didn't even know he was finna come back.
It was like the last update to the show sheet.
He literally had a broken leg in week 5, but I didn't realize that they were practicing him last week. So there's a pretty good chance. That's usually what they'll do. They'll bring them on like a week or 2 before, but it seems like everyone's pretty confident he'll come back. So with him coming back, that's pretty scary, I would say.
Yeah, he'll definitely be on a snap count, and probably just play first downs for the most part. But I love that factor. And honestly, like I hate it even more for the Packers side of things.
You know what it was, right? Them Buccaneers scene last week. Remember, we saw the Packers come right off the bat with old big boy AJ Dillon with them muscles. They seen him getting going early, so the Buccaneers like, hey, Vita Vea.
Yeah. We're getting that IR. We got to talk.
He's actually AJ Dillon is actually questionable for this game. I believe he has a quad injury.
That's right. He would. That's another. Yeah, he went out right like in the third quarter, second quarter, something like that.
Yeah. So with these, I think also as like the Packers, you have to realize there's going to be guys that you're going to see. I didn't put all of them on here because a lot of this, like I talked about all season, is like you're going to see limited practice because they can afford to do so. So someone like Dillon is probably going to be limited practice, but that's not necessarily an injury that should prohibit him from being in the game kind of thing.
Yeah, I love like just this whole weekend slate, right, Steph? Because we're sitting there, we're talking about it. It's like there's not as many injured players, as we thought, like coming into it, right?
Right, especially after this year. So this is like a year that all we saw was injury. And then all of a sudden now we're getting closer. We're talking about the championships here and people are healthy. Like it's bizarre.
It is. It's absolutely bizarre. But I mean, there are some big time ones we're obviously going to get to. Let's go ahead and talk about the first guy that's questionable, the first one that kind of people are freaking out to an extent. I mean, it's not, going to destroy the Buccaneers offense, but let's go ahead and bring him up first.
So my friend Antonio Brown, who I'm not often kind to all the time, he had a knee injury. I do applaud him I think he's had a great season. I think he maybe actually is on the up. And I think that he has managed to keep his attitude in check. He's managed to keep his mouth in check. So I think I actually do applaud him. So he's someone, he had a knee injury. He had an MRI. It ruled out everything that was serious. So we're not looking at there's no structural damage. We're not worried about MCL, AC, nothing. So what they'll probably do with him is it's going to be the same kind of deal. You might see do not practice, limited practice, but there's really, to me, there's no reason, especially with a team like this, where you've seen the Bucs kind of interchange players over and over again, that there should be any concern. I mean, he'll probably just have limited snaps, but is it going to affect them? No, it's just going to open up targets for like Johnson, Miller, Godwin, Evans. So they're still in a good place. That's the thing with them. And I mean, they're coming in hot. The one thing that the Bucs, and I think even myself, I failed to remember is we're talking about a team like this is a 2006 Madden team. These are players that have all played in games like this. They've played in the playoffs over and over again. JPP. I mean, we're talking about guys that have played before. So I think that they have an advantage in this game. And this is probably the first time that I've really said that. I mean, the Packers look good, but you have to remember, these are some veterans.
So you picking the Bucks to win?
No, I'm not. But I'm not. I will not say that. You're not going to get those words out of my mouth probably ever. But I think that the Packers are hot right now. My problem with the Packers is that they do have a tendency to, for lack of a better term, fuck up. So this is like kind of how you fuck up. I also think they're hot. I mean, it's a different scenario that they're in right now. I don't think that you can judge that first matchup. I know everyone wants to cling on to
throw that shit out the window, man.
Yeah, like you can't really. I don't give a shit about that matchup.
That's just like the Bucks and the Saints. I don't know anything about football at all, but I did pick the Bucks to win the versus the Saints, and it didn't matter to me that in week 9 they got their ass whooped by the Saints. Like the Bucks, better team now. The Saints, I don't know. The Saints might have peaked a little earlier, and I think now the Bucks and the Packers both are better than what they were the first time they faced each other.
You know,
it'll be interesting.
Can I just say one player is White? Yeah. Holy shit. I love watching him play ball. He's so good.
Yeah, he's a monster. He's like one of my favorite defensive rookies come out, aside from like Jamal Adams. Like those two are my two favorites, and Jalen Ramsey when he came out. Those guys were just some of my favorite athletes coming out of the draft. And then of course Chase Young, but I don't want to speak too much on that. So sitting there and looking at it, I have to sit there and I have to look at Green Bay because I want to see if they can get pressure on Tom Brady. They haven't really been able to get pressure so far in the season. Their pressure rate is slightly over 20%, which is like in the bottom half of the league. Brady, when he gets under pressure, he is a completely different animal, and he's also not able to deliver those deep balls. He has a 33.7% completion percentage while under pressure. That's 29th in the NFL so far this season. Wow. I mean, like Green Bay, if they can't get pressure, this is not the same Green Bay team that we saw last year, where the Smith brothers were just constantly wreaking havoc. But at the same time, what have we said
all season? The one thing, what's their Achilles heel? It's their defense. That's what we said it all season long. Is that Green Bay's defense is what's going to end up killing them in the long run. I mean, they have what it takes to definitely make things happen on offense. But I still am going to take Green Bay. I mean, I think that something that we're also failing to recognize a lot of the league is I mean, Aaron Rodgers is maybe playing the best he's played in his literal career at 35? How old is he? He's an old man. Yeah, like I think that it's such a shame because McCarthy was definitely holding this guy back. But I think that this is an awesome matchup. I mean, they've had like opportunities in the past. 2011. What's his name? Sanchez, maybe from the Jets, I think knocks them. And then in 2015, who lost? I think the Packers lost to Seahawks or something. So those are the only 2 times that these guys could almost match up. So this is awesome. I mean, this is going to be such a cool game.
Going back to the Packers and their lack of pass rush, they did do a little something versus the Rams, and I don't.
They looked really good up against Rams. I was actually going to bring up that they were actually significantly better in the past 4 games.
Like you said, Chase, about the Smith brothers last year wreaking havoc and all that, and them not being as good. Well, they didn't like Zadarius Smith had the sack numbers, but the constant pressure wasn't there. Yes. What's the kid name? I got a blank mind right now. Number 52, the other Green Bay Packer rusher.
Are you talking about Preston Williams?
Michigan. Not Preston Smith.
Keep rolling. I got you.
Ooh, I'm trying to think.
Well, they got him too. He's been contributing. He's a young guy. They drafted him last season in the first round.
Just keep rolling. I got you guys. Just keep rolling.
Who is it?
Yeah, but anyway, the thing about that is that these dudes could. In the NFL, you just kind of like if these dudes know what's at stake right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You just got to be like, hey man, they know the only way they're affecting Tom Brady is to get pressure, and it's the same thing on the other side as well for the Buccaneers defensive line, and they've got a pretty good one. They saw how they were able to affect Aaron Rodgers in that first game. So they know they have to get both quarterbacks. If you give them time, it'll be a shootout. But
Rashawn Gary, by the way.
Rashawn Gary, that's it. They got that guy in the rotation now, and he's helped out as well. So if these dudes got any type of grapefruits in between their legs, that's what they could do.
Literally.
Oh man, I love that.
They look good. I think the camaraderie with Rodgers there is awesome. I think that team maybe they just have a different culture over there. And I think that Brady can be shaken. So if the Packers go into this and they're ready to fight, I mean, both of these games, these are going to be some of the best football games probably we watch in, these are going to be great.
For anything better. We've always wished for Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady's Super Bowl, but this is it. Like, this is the closest you will get in this bit time, man.
Absolutely.
The thing with me with Aaron Rodgers is the fact that, like, earlier in his career, man, he could throw, the ball in a string, like straight up lasers, coming out of, 30-yard like lasers, just hitting people in the numbers, right? But his decision making was subpar. His attitude sucked, and honestly, like, it just wasn't a good combination for a quarterback. Meanwhile, McCarthy wasn't a big enough personality to be able to corral Aaron Rodgers, right? So sitting there and looking at it, in the second part of his career, he became a way better decision maker, but he also became way too careful, right? He didn't want to throw the interceptions. He didn't want to make these dangerous type plays. He didn't have his trusted wide receivers with Jordy Nelson. What's his name that's all over now?
Cobb.
The wide receiver he started with.
Cobb.
No, I was thinking of the outside guy that he started his career with. Grant. No. Anyways, I guess we're having brain farts this whole episode.
Too long of a day, yeah.
Yeah. It's been a crazy.
You're lucky I did my hair, okay? Please do not quiz me on past players. I brushed my hair because we have a guest.
So sitting there and looking at it, right? It's something as to where now we're seeing him understand that he can still make these good plays. And although his arm isn't as good, it's not just the decision-making to not make the bad play. It's also the decision-making to give his players the right opportunities to take a chance and to make a play. And I don't think we saw that as much over the past 3 or 4 years, ever since Jordan Nelson kind of, weathered away. So it's going to be a very, very interesting game. But honestly, I think the Green Bay takes this one, and I honestly don't see it that close. I think it's going to be at least a 10-point spread.
What stinks is I'm starting to lean towards the Bucks, and I never felt that way until watching them play. But I think
secondary is not good enough.
I think in the first quarter, you're going to know who's going to win. Like, not that you're going to know, obviously, but I'm saying you'll be able to tell who's coming out hot and ready.
I know the Green Bay Packers going to win right now.
I love it.
They're definitely going to win. I mean, it's just a question of, like, if they're able to pull away from the Bucks or if the Bucks can make it a competitive game.
If they don't, you delete this video and what I said.
Don't worry.
We're going to clip it, man. We're going to clip it. But speaking of,
I never liked the scheme over there either in Tampa. I think that they haven't been consistent with there's no known star over there. Not that there needs to be because you have these older guys, but I just don't like the way that they have played the game. And I think it's going to end up being their whatever the word is.
The bird. The bird.
I don't fucking know. Whatever the fuck the stupid phrase is.
The bird is the word. All right. So real quick, we do have a big announcement to make. I figure we might as well just break it out now. You guys ready for the big announcement?
What announcement? I thought we were waiting till the end.
You want to wait till the end? We can wait till the end.
Yeah, I want to.
All right, we'll wait till the end.
He has to go.
Sorry, guys. We're going to wait till the end.
Nah, man, do your thing, man.
We could do one. We have like 7, but we could do one. Do the one for Friday.
All right, we'll do the one for Friday.
Okay, go.
So on Friday, I will not be a part of this show. However, Dave is going to be coming on. Dave's going to be starting his own show up, which is I've been pushing Dave to do since, like, I don't even know week 13 or something like that. I've been bugging the shit out of him to start his own show because he should do what I do essentially, which is host. And so he reached out, and for his show debut, Steph is joining him.
Yeah.
Not just Steph. We actually have Ian Hartitz over there, right? And Outspread Jew, which is part of, the whole Roto Underworld collective staff over there. It's something that's amazing. Very, very excited to be announcing our first guest for Friday. But we have some bigger ones coming up on not only Monday, but Wednesday as well. So we'll go ahead and dive into those.
My favorite. Okay.
Wednesday is insane. Wednesday is just insane. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that.
All right. What are we up to next? Where was I?
I don't know where you were.
Okay. Well, sorry.
Where am I? We're at the Bills game.
Do you want to jump into the next game?
Yeah, we might as well. Unless, do you have anything else to add? I think we pretty much covered the majority of the stuff, right?
So. I really do think, though, Vita Vea coming back is a big. When I saw that today, that's what kind of took me. I'm like, oh crap. But I think the Packers. I'm taking the Packers too.
Don't be leaning towards them Bucks now.
I'm not.
I'll be crazy
all season. Yes. If anyone goes to my archives, I'm so screwed.
Somebody made a comment that said if Brady at 43 goes through Breeze, Aaron Rodgers, and Mahomes, something. But hold on. He didn't go through no damn Breeze. Breeze was like, hey, he go.
Yeah.
You get a pick,
man.
And then they're trying to say like, then maybe Belichick isn't the coach. Shut up. Literally shut up. Like, don't even go there. Please don't bring Belichick into this. Like, it's a totally different scenario. Like, it doesn't, yes, does it have to do with Tom Brady's skills? Absolutely. But he also took advantage of being able to like totally build around him. Like, this guy handcrafted a team. It's not like he's not in a normal scenario. He's bunk buddies with Antonio Brown.
Yeah, and that's like he's the second or third option when the past decade he'd been arguably the best wide receiver in the league. So but he's played phenomenal this year. Definitely ain't gonna take that away from that young man at the tender age of 43.
Right. But the Giants did almost beat them, which we will not forget about, and I will not let anyone
shit. They should have beat them.
I know.
What's crazy is Brady just hasn't looked like he's missed a beat, man. Like, he still looks like the same quarterback.
He doesn't eat strawberries. Maybe we should all go on the same diet as
him.
You
need to talk to your boy, Steph, if Danny Dimes didn't turn over the ball versus the Bucks.
Yeah. Well, maybe if the rest of the team wanted to play football, then we could like talk about it, but I can't. And Jason Garrett, we won't even talk about him because I'll talk too long. I hate him so much.
Really?
Well, you guys are stuck with him now,
going
right?
from Jason Garrett to McCarthy, though, also, like, that sucks. Okay,
Eli greater than Brady. Hey.
I don't know about all that. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and let's jump into this next game. All right, Steph.
Beat him twice. Okay. Okay, so this one I'm going to talk a lot, and this is the one that no one forgets. But so this is what everyone wants to talk about. It's Mahomes. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back because I did call this injury as it happened. I knew that was the situation. So this is what we're looking at. We'll talk about Mahomes' toe first.
So let me tell you guys about the injury that happened to Mahomes, and then can cut. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Okay, please. Everyone else did that, so can I have my
I know that's
15 seconds of shine? I'm going to talk about his toe first.
Oh man!
So basically, that's the first injury that we saw. Everyone saw his gait. He looked a little bit altered. If you watch it over, it's basically I've talked about it a couple times. So it's essentially stubbing your toe, but like downwards. So if you watch it over, you can see his toe go down. That what feels like a knuckle to you guys there. That's basically what happens. It's a really frustrating injury. I've talked about it a bunch of times. This is going to be something that prohibits him from playing the game. This is something that you can inject. They can put a carbon insert in halfway through the game should they need to. Could it affect his mobility? Definitely. He could definitely feel some pain with planting, running, but this isn't going to be something that keeps him out of the game. It looked pretty mild to me. I think also Mahomes probably isn't used to getting hurt either. So I don't know if there was a little bit of theatrics there.
He was good with the toe. He'll do his little thing. He'll even run a little bit. He was
kicking.
Back to the huddle, but he was straight.
It's kind of just an annoying injury, the turf toe. So when it's in that mild scenario, it really isn't something that's ever going to stop you from playing, especially
I would imagine it would be worse though for a receiver.
Yeah. Or the running back is really annoying. Like yeah. It's really annoying. But he'll be fine. So this isn't something that is going to prevent him from playing. But something that can prevent him from playing is obviously that concussion that he suffered. Yes, it was a concussion. All the Twitter birds can tell you whatever they want. It's called a coup contre coup. And you see this a lot with
what? Coup.
Yeah. A cuckoo-cuckoo.
I should type it into the chat. I'm going to type it into the chat.
I think it's a cuckoo-cuckoo is what she's saying.
Yeah, it's a cuckoo-cuckoo. So he had a cuckoo-cuckoo. But basically what it is, you see it a lot in car crash injuries. So you don't always need a direct blow to the head in order to get a concussion. What happens is it's essentially this whipping sensation if you watch. And what made it worse is there was a defender that kind of had his hand like on his neck. So that made him basically goes forward and then you go backwards and you go forward again. So what happens is your brain hits
like
your skull essentially. So that's where the concussion is coming from. So what's scary is he did definitely have, I mean, you guys saw him get up. He looked like he was drunk. I mean, his gait was completely altered. It seemed dramatic, but it wasn't. It was just really, really scary.
Yeah, when he got up and then he
it was really scary.
Oh.
Did you guys see the footage of him going into the tunnel?
But
Like he went down like 4 stairs and he was running.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't see that.
he went down the 4 stairs and then he ended up like almost bumping into the wall because he couldn't make the turn.
Right.
Quick enough. It just didn't look good.
So these like tweaked a nerve things that are coming out can kind of kiss my ass. I mean, part of his neck. So his neck is just that his head is whipping back front. So that's basically coup contra coup. And so what ends up happening, and they get scared too, because what can happen is that essentially he could hit like the carotid. This is very serious if it was like MMA players, but they always worry about second impact syndrome. That's if he were to go back in way too early. And then obviously that results in things that are way more serious that we won't talk about. But I mean, I was looking at the research today, and 70 to 80% of these cases, they are okay to go between 7 and 14 days. So we're not going to get that in the NFL. So the protocol is 5 days. Every day he needs to basically pass protocols, which means he can't show worsening symptoms and he can't really show a new symptom. Each day is a more difficult test almost, to put it in the simplest terms. So far, so good. He has to pass with a specialist, which is where he's probably at now. He has to go to an independent neurologist moving forward. So the problem is, this is what happens. So you have someone like Henny and not Hennessy, but Henny is possible.
Man, he's
when you said MMA players, that made me chuckle.
I didn't mean to say players. I was in my medical zone and I try not to make it too medical. So my whole point is to be able to I don't want to use the word dumb it down, but like I try to make it so it's a little bit informative and also
you could dumb it down. A lot of folks out here dumb.
Wow.
Yeah, no. So I try to make it. Yeah, it's like
me too.
I'm just saying. Whatever. Coup contra coup. Okay, guys. So the thing is, if I am the Chiefs and he is not fully ready, there is zero. Like I feel like they still are not in a bad position with Henny. So I think what we might see is, I wouldn't be surprised if we see this round robin that we've been seeing across the league all season. I don't really know though. I mean, I think the biggest determiner today I was listening to NFL XM, and the biggest thing is I think his name is Moore. I might be mistaken. I didn't get a chance to go back and look, but if they elevate him from the practice squad at any point this week, that's when I'm going to be worried, because all they have right now to rely on is Henny. They don't have a backup.
Matt Moore.
I think that's his name, right?
I hope that ain't who they still got on, because he about 37.
Oh yeah,
that was their backup before Chad Henne. Was Matt Moore.
Let's see.
Because when Patrick Mahomes got hurt last year for the couple games, that's who started.
Messing it up. I think the guy maybe messed it up. I'll find out who it is.
No, it might be him though, for real. It might be, because he definitely.
They have 2 people on this practice squad. I just don't know which one.
The other one is the guy from the St. Louis Battle Rams, I believe.
Yeah, his name Jordan.
Teamu.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Teamu so much. I thought he was going to be Taysom Hill 2.0, to be honest with you guys.
Okay.
But they just don't need that type of player on that team.
That's what I'm going to look for, is if they end up elevating someone off the practice squad, that's when I'm going to start getting nervous. So right now, they have yet to do so. I mean, we're only on Tuesday. Mahomes he has to do 5 full days for the NFL protocol. And each day is more difficult with his testing and the way that they're going to grade him. So any day that he shows another symptom or he shows that his symptoms are worsening, they're going to hold it there. So he basically just has to make it through. Then again, you also have to wonder, it is the NFL, this is the playoffs. Is there going to be some leniency?
Everything they can.
Yeah. So
this man playing.
Yeah. So you wonder, but then what does that mean when he does go in? Because really, he can't get another head injury if they do kind of twist it. If they kind of get him in there, that's one thing. But then you're going to have to really be careful. You can't let him be super mobile on the field. It's going to have to be something where you're protecting him. So it's a weird scenario. I mean, I'm leaning towards him playing, but I would not be surprised if they say that he did not go. That was scary when he got up. So
when he got up like that, I was like, well, first I thought they were just gonna lose the game because Chad Henne came in. He made 2 good throws. He made the throw over top to Tyreek Hill where he jumped the car. Then he hit Travis Kelce on the intermediate route. Then he's feeling himself. He's like, oh shit, I'm Pat Mahomes now. He threw that bit deep.
Yeah, I saw it.
I was like, oh man, you didn't do that.
Yeah, Tamu, by the way, just signed a futures contract with the Chiefs, so he's going to remain with the team for at least this offseason, and possibly in the next season. So they could end up utilizing him if they activate him off the practice squad. Now he was cut from the practice squad on the corresponding day, but I believe he probably got re-signed. They just didn't actually make a note of it on the website that I use.
Now I'm trying to figure out who.
Good for him.
So that's awesome for him. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it is Matt Moore. I wasn't wrong. Okay.
So
I wasn't wrong.
So he's on the practice squad.
Yeah.
He is.
Right. Yeah. That makes
I didn't realize that. But he's on reserve. Tamu. How do you say his name? I don't fucking know.
Tamu. Yeah.
Jordan. Yeah. Whatever.
He's
on.
Yeah. I'm not surprised it's Matt Moore though, because like I said, he was their backup last season, so he know the system. And like you said, if any of them get elevated from the practice squad, then we best start praying to them football guys. Then,
definitely.
Because I'll cry if Mahomes don't play. I'll cry.
That's a shame if he doesn't play.
I mean, either way, I think the Bills.
Yeah, I think the Bills. I was just about to say, I think the Bills have a better chance. But I want to see this game. But they're not going to play him if he just signed a $500 million contract. They're not going to play him.
Right. He's not allowed to jump on a trampoline, and you're going to put him in a game after he just had a TBI. Essentially, you need to I don't know. And I think that there still is a chance. They do have a lot of weapons around them. So if they can be smart, they still could pull out a win and maybe not use Mahomes as much or at all. So do you risk the future of the franchise on this? Because that was a scary injury. I mean, we're talking about there was definitely a blood loss to the brain at any point. He definitely still, everyone saw him. It was disturbing the way he got up. The last time, it was worse than when Dalton got hit.
So let's go ahead and bring up another player that might be injured in this matchup on the Chiefs side of things. Okay. What's going on? Because I need to know. I need to know what is happening right now with a certain running back. Go ahead.
CEH, right? Is that where we're going?
CEH. That's one. Yes. Okay. That's it.
Yes. I know where we're going. Okay. Well, I didn't know because I just wanted to give an update on Zach Moss after. But yeah, so CEH, I don't really know. So one thing I'm noticing about these games is they haven't updated the injury reports for any of the teams. Usually they're up by now. So I didn't see anything for today. I don't know if they took a couple of days off. I don't know what the scenario is. But he had a high ankle sprain and a hip injury week 15. I think we are looking at not seeing him again unless they go to the Super Bowl. So should they go to the Super Bowl, they have plenty of time for him to rest, and I think that they can rehab him properly. Week 15 to now. Is there a chance he comes back? Maybe, but it hasn't really been looking good for him.
I mean, they haven't said anything. They didn't say anything about him yesterday. They didn't say nothing about him today.
Right.
So they didn't even say we're hopeful. I didn't even hear.
Right. So it's turning into this
talking more about Mahomes than obviously.
Yeah, it's turning into this Mixon CMC kind of bullshit that Galladay, all those guys that we didn't really hear stuff about. That's what we're getting now, where it's starting to get a little quiet about him. No one's talking about him, which makes me think that he's either coming back for the Super Bowl or we're not going to see him until next season.
Well, I mean, they probably don't need to talk about him because it's not like he's a good running back or anything. So, I mean, might as well just keep quiet about it. Like, who's actually asking questions outside of us?
I'm worried.
I ain't gonna lie. Hey, that boy Darren Williams, he was running hard. He ain't got no moves, but he hit that hole like a bitch.
Oh, he's like a fullback, man. He's like the poor man's like my all-star type thing. Like, just I'm gonna run as reckless as possible and just wreck as many people as I can in that secondary, so they don't want to tackle me again the next time I come through.
They ain't look like they wanted to tackle him.
He's so reckless, man. He is so reckless.
I was shocked that Le'Veon Bell wasn't more involved, but then
that's what I wanted to talk about. Do you think you get any Wildcat action with like Le'Veon Bell? Like he's kind of known for it. I kind of feel like.
But what did he get? He got a carry and a target.
That's what we're trying to tell her in the group chat.
That's about the same production I had.
Bad for him. I feel bad.
Why do you feel bad? He looks so bad.
Because I'm a girl. I'm still a girl. I feel bad.
Man, here you go, man. Here's a carry and a target. Like what? For
poor guy. He's just not,
Williams is people, back over there.
It works for them, and some people it doesn't. Poor Le'Veon.
But you know what I think it is though. Like once Williams start getting them carries and he was looking good, they just roll with it.
Oh, dude, nobody wanted to tackle him, man. Like he was literally throwing his body. Like those games that you play like on your app where you like fling like your finger and like you fling like a goat or you fling like a person.
No.
And like they just go flying just randomly in the air.
What games are you watching, Chase?
I don't play games.
I don't
play them either, but I've seen them. I don't know. It just looked like a random like dead body just whoosh, just flying across the screen and just wrecking people. Anyways, that's what's going on over there with Williams.
That's really it. This is
we just lost followers.
Everyone's so healthy, but this matchup is with Mahomes out. Okay, here's the thing too that I wanted to bring up is. Can you put Troy's comment on because it's really funny?
Yep.
Thank you.
Sorry, flick. You flick the screen.
Yeah. So maybe that would have been like playing what's that like paper football game. But I feel like what? I don't
our group chat.
Nuts. But with the Bills defense, I feel like they're peaking at the right time. So I feel like they looked really good. Everyone was giving them shit. I think they looked fine last week. I don't know why
they played great. They have been getting shit, and that's because they haven't been playing well. But they had a good plan for Lamar Jackson.
Definitely.
Now we're talking Patrick Mahomes, well, hopefully Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, a less mobile Patrick Mahomes.
I'll tell you what, if Patrick Mahomes play, he gonna play. Like it ain't gonna be no
for sure.
Like Andy Reid will run that same play that he got hurt on.
He will play. He will play. I mean, part of it.
That man, Andy Reid, don't care. Like this man on fourth down,
that guy is
threw the ball
let me tell you.
with Chad Henne, who for like 10 minutes thought he was Patrick Mahomes on that interception.
Yeah, that's what Henne does, though, man. That's what Henne does. He's like the Ryan Fitzpatrick 2.0, but less smart.
It's going to be a quarterback controversy out here.
Man, when can you cut Patrick Mahomes in like 3 years from now? And say
I have a shirt that says anything is possible, but it's like a literal Hennessy shirt. It's like has nothing to do with Henne. But then I saw Patrick Mahomes tweeted anything is possible.
Yeah.
That was so funny. I was like, there's shirts out there, man. You guys could all get them.
So let's hop over to the other side of the ball at the running back position. What injury did you want to talk about?
Oh, I just wanted to mention this has nothing to do with the games. This is like a roundup, just a quick.
Well, I want to make sure we actually get this through before this is the last thing that you talk about because for some reason you just have, All
right, it's just about Zach Moss. He had surgery today. He had a tightrope procedure is what they call it. He will be completely fine for off season and training camp. They were smart to do it this way. I mean, not to fucking like dick him around and just like keep him on these almost IR reports like they've been doing with everyone. So I think this was a good move on the Bills. He went to a doctor in Green Bay who's a pretty good surgeon. I looked into him. So I think that he'll be in a really good place. This is someone I'm still picking him up in leagues. I don't give a shit. So
love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
That's it.
Bills better find some running game.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about this game. We went through the injuries. Like, is this going to be a game where the Bills blow them out if Patrick Mahomes doesn't play? If he does play, are the Bills still winning? I mean, I think we're all three on board with with the Bills actually taking this game, but it should be a really close game overall, right?
No. If Patrick Mahomes plays,
You're taking Chiefs?
oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
For sure.
I
I
mean,
think I want
and-
it so bad
and
for the Bills. Like, I just
And
want
I feel like they have a chance with Chad Henne. I ain't gonna pick them if they got Chad Henne, but I feel like they will have a chance. But with Patrick Mahomes, I'm for sure gonna go Chiefs right there.
You know what scares me with Henny is I feel like he fights so hard that he's gonna get hurt. Like, did you see him?
Hell yeah, he almost got hurt on that run.
yeah, he did.
He about broke his neck too.
What the fuck is
Putting his head down. I said, well,
They're gonna have
your head.
Le'Veon Bell out there. They're like swinging the football if they don't figure it out.
Chad
I
Henne
You
had
just want
more
Le'Veon Bell
rushing
to be
yards
back
than
there
Le'Veon
so
Bell.
bad. So bad.
so bad.
You
Whatever.
realize
Yeah,
he was like a fullback pretty much in college, right? I mean, he wasn't really a
it's been a
fullback.
really long time since anyone has gone to the Super, like going twice in a row like that and winning again. I just doubt it. The odds are against them.
Yeah, that's why. Well, I mean, I don't necessarily want to see them go. I don't really give a shit who go to the Super Bowl. I just, if they got Mahomes, I just don't.
It's hard
I
to
mean,
see.
he was lighting them up when he was in the game. That game wouldn't even been. They was about to open that up right there. Then he got hurt. The Bills, I mean, yeah, they stopped Lamar Jackson, but and listen, I know
That's not Mahomes, though.
you're right, and I'm the Lamar Jackson ambassador, but let's keep it 100. It's Patrick Mahomes right here. That's Lamar, and
Different players.
Did you guys see the poll where there was actually like 40% of the teams that were asked, or the GMs that were asked, like, anonymously?
I did. Yep.
Yep. They would take what was the number? Do you remember the number?
I didn't see that.
They would take Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes. It was like 40% of the GMs. Because they believe his longevity could end up being better. And
I agree. That's part of it too. Patrick, like the way that he got hurt on that fancy French word that I said to you guys it was partly his fault too. Like I noticed in this game, the way that he takes hits, he's going to get injured. It's really scary actually. So I'm hoping that
that was never a case like last year and the year before that, because he played baseball, like he knew how to slide, and all of a sudden he's just throwing his body out there. And
I think people are learning. They're starting to watch his film. People are picking up on it, but he's still Patrick Mahomes. That's the thing. It's still Patrick Mahomes. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't too much got no worries about him at this point right now.
Yeah.
So real quick, let's go ahead and jump back just for a brief second, because we have somebody in the chat on Facebook who joined a little bit late. I believe that I took the Green Bay with a runaway, right? Did you both take Green Bay?
I don't think it's gonna be a runaway.
Yeah, that spread is 3.5 right now.
Is it?
Yeah, I could.
I'm taking Green Bay 100 times out of 100 on that one.
Even though that they fuck up all the time. This is like Green Bay. How many times have they made it to the playoffs in the past 10 years?
It's a whole different animal.
Yeah, I mean, so
Brady
there now. Well, they were there last year with Matt LaFleur, and they got ran off the field by the Niners. Just the bad situation. Like they have to win this because Aaron Rodgers is he's been talking about. I can't wait to get a home game or the playoffs, go through Green Bay and finally get to play a championship. Like this is what you wanted. You got to bring it home now. And you got guys like Tom Brady and Antonio Brown. That cold ain't going to bother them because New England Patriots and Pittsburgh Steelers. So some of those guys will be able to handle that. So in the Bucks, they come into play. I could see, I won't say double digits, but I would go Green Bay by a touchdown.
For sure.
I know Facebook user wanted to see us, endorse Tampa Bay, but I don't think any three of us did. So, Steph, real quick, you want to start at the top of that show sheet and tell everybody what you think about the Bills and Chiefs game, right? Because your show sheet, I had to play off that.
So here's my issue my positives about the Bills are definitely that I think that their defense proved to be something last week. I think that all season, everyone's like, oh, they're not going anywhere. Their defense, their Achilles heel, blah, blah, blah. Well, their defense was fucking fine. So just shut up. It was fine. It's just like there's nothing to talk about.
The best part of them last year.
Clearly.
Last year was.
So I think that is just kind of a scapegoat. I think actually what their issue was last week, and I know that there's going to be people very upset that I say this, but I think it's going to come down to Josh Allen's accuracy. I mean, you can't argue with me that his accuracy was not the way it's been all season, period. I don't care. I don't know if that comes down to Diggs, and I don't know if that comes down to people. I mean, Diggs was covered like a mother effer. Like, that's all I know how to say it. Like, he was covered, but it's going to come down to them being on point. I mean, if their defense can hold up for them, they need to pull it together on offense, because they definitely, how many targets did you see that were like so overthrown last week?
Thank you. So you were saying, I was trying to figure out whether you were saying he was or wasn't accurate.
Oh no, very inaccurate.
And that's what I said. That I said the same thing in a video I posted. I said, hey, up until that Lamar pick 6, their throwing was about even. And probably, like you said, it's just that they didn't get no points. The Ravens went up and down the field. They couldn't cash in. And Allen had Stephon Diggs beat the corner twice. Somebody else beat the corner. They scored when they were supposed to, but at the end of the game, total QBR, Josh Allen had a 51, Lamar had a 56. And Lamar didn't run the ball. So what you saying, I'm with that.
Yeah.
So there was a little stretch where Josh Allen was getting a little bit of hate because he started out on fire, right? And then all of a sudden he kind of went to shit for a little bit. I believe it was like windy games and whatnot, but either way, it was a 4-game stretch total. 3 out of the 4 games, he had below a 64% completion percentage.
It was bad.
This was the only time in the entire season and postseason outside of 2 weeks we had below 64% completion percentage, and those happened in a 4-game span. 3 of the 4 happened in a 4-game span.
You also just can't do that, is the thing.
So,
this is not the time to do that.
Yeah, the other 2 times, one happened in week 14 up against Pittsburgh, which makes sense. Pittsburgh's a very good defense. At least they were up until losing Bud Dupree. And then Baltimore last week held him to a 62.2% completion percentage on 206 yards, 1 touchdown. So he also only had 7 yards rushing on 3 attempts on the ground.
Yeah.
Now Kansas City defense won't be Baltimore's defense, but the Kansas City defense is an opportunistic defense. They will go for that ball. They will take that ball. You just saw it. You saw Tyrann Mathieu, who's one of the best safeties in the game and probably the most instinctive player on the defensive side of the football.
He was so good.
He amazing, right? You got a guy like that Roman man. He'll get you if you're just a little bit off. He'll get you.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too is like, I remember I tweeted too, like, if there was one thing that I could tell that entire team is I would just tell Josh Allen to take a deep breath. It seemed like he was rushing. The ball was coming out too fast. Just take a deep breath, have confidence in your O-line, read your reads, and then throw the ball. I felt like he was throwing the ball without thinking a lot of the time. And then when he would throw it deep, it was super inaccurate. So it was kind of just all over the place. I think they're lucky that they won that game a little bit. But I do think they'll pull it together.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. So Linda brings up a great point, and this was something that I was trying to kind of emphasize earlier, was the fact that these 3 out of the 4 games that he had in that week 5 to 8 span, he had 2 or 3 of those that he had poor games in. They ended up being in bad wind conditions, and you guys have to keep in mind that Josh Allen completely redid his whole hit motion and the way that he was throwing the ball in the offseason. He's been developing this over the past 2 off seasons, but this past year he made the biggest stride, and it was obvious. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that he still knows ball placement, because in the summertime, typically where he's training, they don't have any kind of major wind issues like they do, as they had throughout the season, and especially last week. He has to learn how to do it. So if they do have, Arrowhead Stadium's known for having, semi-rough conditions, but I didn't see any kind of issues with the weather as of now. But we all know what wind can change in the course of a 48-hour period, 24-hour period. So that's very, very interesting. But what needs to hold strong, is the Bills' defense, because the Bills, they're ranked 4th up against wide receivers so far this season. And Teron Johnson, who was the weak point in this, he's kind of like the chink in the armor. He's improving as well. In 5 of the last 6 games, he's ranked above a 70 for Pro Football Focus. Pro Football Focus they grade out all these players, and anything above a 70, you get the little green dot. And the green dot's actually, in the top, probably 20% of the league or so. So sitting there looking at it, Sharon Johnson has improved tremendously, and he actually had an elite coverage rating, not this past game, but the game before that. He also returned a pick 6 this past week. But he's getting targeted like crazy. So sitting there looking at it, he's going to get
targeted this week too. Best believe that.
Tyreek Hill, right?
He's going to get targeted this week too.
He is, but I think they're going to give him a little bit extra help underneath while he takes a little bit of the deeper routes to an extent. And believe, they're going to get safety coverage as well. So the run game over here is very interesting, but we all know that the Chiefs don't run sex. So, no, I'm just kidding. Thanks, Steffi.
Sorry, I was just adding things to your notes.
No, I'm just kidding. No, she is. I read everything on the teleprompter. So,
whatever.
Sitting there looking at it, I mean, where did the Chiefs beat the Bills on defense? Because they have been very, very stout as of late, and they can't run the ball. So where did the Chiefs beat the defense? We're going to start out with, of course, the Lord. Lawrence, what's up?
Well, they haven't really beaten teams running the ball all year. I think Clyde Edwards had that 130-something yard game in week 1. And then it was like, oh, Clyde Edwards, and that stopped for 10 weeks. And then, right, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, now we don't know if he's playing, but this is the Chiefs running the ball. Clyde Edwards-Helaire ran for 160, or was it 126? Something. It was against the Bills.
One of the numbers, that's for sure.
It was against the Bills. So he had 2 great rushing games. One of them was week 1 versus the Texans, I believe they had week 1. And the other one was actually versus the Bills. So I mean, they was
161.
But again, like I said earlier, that's not going to matter now. And the Chiefs haven't beat anybody really running the ball all season. And this is one team that they kind of don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, Steph, are you sitting there looking at this as an area? Can you find an area where they could actually beat the Bills in when it comes to the Chiefs? Chiefs defense. I mean, I'm sorry, the Bills defense. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, I feel like he couldn't have said it any better, and now anything I say is just gonna be dumb. No, I mean, I think that the biggest thing, the 2 things is we have to see where Mahomes is at. If his mobility sucks, then that's an issue. I think that they still have the ability to win without Mahomes, but I think that comes down to the Bills defense. So if the Bills defense acts like Bills defense the rest of the actual season, then yes, they're going to lose this game. But if they act like they did last game, then they have a very strong fighting chance. Because when Stephon and Allen are on and they're doing their cute couple bullshit and it hits, it's all game long, and you're not going to stop that. That.
Yeah, they just make eye connection, It's that chemistry, like you said.
Yeah. Do you see them love each other? No one will ever love me the way that they love each other.
I don't want nobody to love me like they love each other. Nobody.
No one. There's no way.
Us 3 combined will never get the love that those 2 will.
Close. He said, I love you. He said, I love this guy on national television. And
I tell you what, now, that Chiefs game is -3 right now. That's close.
What do you think it would go if Patrick Mahomes gets confirmed? That he's going to play?
I think they're doing it like that with the thought that he's going to play. That's what's crazy.
I mean, he is supposed to play. I think it's 80-20 right now, to be honest. So he should play. There's really no reason. And I feel like they can bullshit it a little bit. Mahomes is probably being coached on exactly what he needs to do to be able to pass each neurological exam.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I feel like it's right there with it. I mean, God, that's tough, man.
I think this is a closer game than the Bucs game. I think this will be closer.
It's going to be a shootout for all 4 games. So I was sitting there and looking at Pro Football Focus. And Linda, by the way, you said cutest couple besides Josh Allen and I.
It's actually us, Linda.
I thought you liked Driscoll. Where's Dump Truck Driscoll? Is he just a side piece? Very curious.
Driscoll got that dunk, don't he? Is that
That's
shit?
what Linda's all about, man. That's what Linda's all about.
Alan has a cute butt. Let me tell you, Alan's butt.
That boy squat about 800.
Oh, God. I can't.
Ass the grass for Jeff Driscoll, boy.
Push up. Hey, you got a dunk.
Oh.
You got a dunk.
God, man.
We need more music on this show.
Oh, we do. But we already got caught 3 times now for using NSYNC's Christmas song.
Whatever.
Yeah, I got warnings from YouTube saying that we're using too much.
Y'all gotta start making your own songs, recording your own songs in the booth. Y'all two do some duets or something.
No one wants to hear me sing. My roommate told me the other day I sound like shit.
You gotta rap. Let Chase do the singing.
Yeah. God, whoa. Do not say that, because the only idea I ever had to shoot down was the fantasy intervention group wanted to put together a start or sit rap every week, and I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
Why?
We are not.
The Lord can do it. He can help us. He can be our producer.
Sure, but Corey being the one that wanted to do it. Corey, big shout out to you.
Corey could definitely do it.
I love Corey, man. That shit was so funny. All right, so sitting there and looking at it, obviously the Bills and the Chiefs game is going to be a lot closer, in my opinion, but all these games are going to be shootouts. I did a bunch of research on the cornerbacks, and there were only 2 cornerbacks, excuse me.
CB
who actually got
I can't hear you. Speak
corner.
Okay, don't yell.
Who graded out very positively, almost shutdown corner-esque. So in this entire slate, so we have 2 cornerbacks over four games. I think both are going to be very high scoring. I'm talking about over 50 minimum. We could see both games going over 55. Ooh. It's very possible. I mean, I'm sitting there and I was looking at the Saints in Tampa Bay game, and I thought, man, they're not even going to reach 40, and they still, they struggled a little bit, but they still end up hitting 40. So I'm taking the over on both these games. Both these games can be shootouts for you guys, or what's going on?
Go, Lord. It's all you, sir.
So Kansas City and Buffalo, definitely. Because like you said, you wanted to know where Kansas City gonna beat Buffalo. It's probably not gonna be the run game. And we saw what Buffalo did versus the Ravens. They didn't run the ball till the game was over with. They came out with 17 straight passes. So that game will definitely end with no Zach Moss. They just gonna be throwing the ball all over the place. So I could definitely see that hitting over the 53. That's that 53 right now. As far as Green Bay and Tampa Bay, same deal. You talked about it earlier with Green Bay. Where'd Chase go? He talked about Green Bay earlier. You muted right now.
Shit. I was saying this is Chase's worst nightmare, is leaving me on camera.
So like we said, Green Bay ain't known for just having constant pressure on the quarterback, and we know what Tom Brady does when he gets no pressure. He'll chop your ass up. And the same thing will go the other way. Green Bay and the Rams got over 50 last week. So if they're going to do that with the Rams, they're going to do it with Tampa Bay, except it'll be a closer game.
Yeah. I'm sitting there looking at a Coop contra Coop. What is that? I thought it was a Coop.
That's the injury that I just want everyone. That's what I was saying before. It's Coop contra Coop.
I ain't even gonna try to use my brain for that stuff, man.
Well, Mahomes.
I agree with you, by the way, Lord. I think that both of them are going to be shootouts, obviously. Steph, do you have a difference of opinion in this?
No, not really at all. I think that especially if Allen is hitting his targets the way he should be, then everyone's chilling. So I don't disagree with anything that was said.
Absolutely love it. Love it 100%, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything else that we need to cover with these games? I'm pretty sure we covered everything.
I think it's going to be such a good weekend of football. I'm fucking hyped
for this weekend.
Yeah, man. It's a great time. It's a great time. It's sweet and it's bitter because it's close to being over. But if it's going to be over, man, we couldn't have had a better 2 matchups coming up.
I can't think of a better conference championship that I've watched my entire lifetime, essentially.
It's wild, man. It's really crazy. And the thing about these last four teams have been consistently at the top.
Yes.
All season. So it's not like then there's nothing wrong with a Cinderella story like back and barely getting in the playoffs and making a run.
Right.
But it's nice when you just get the
best teams out there, man.
Right. I was thinking that no one snuck in this time. Like this is all very much the way it should have been, kind of.
It always feels like the NBA playoffs to an extent where the best teams end up making it to the top, Occasionally you'll have an upset in the first, maybe second round, but essentially you're going to get the best two teams by the end of it. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We're going to make sure that these people can get some sleep because we don't sleep, but we want to make sure you guys get some sleep.
Yeah.
So.
I damn sure sleep.
All right. Lawrence, let everybody know where to find you, man.
For sure. Again, man, y'all could hit me up on Twitter, just like it said on the screen, at Lord Don't Lose, on Instagram, at Fantasy Football Lord. I'm always at in the food, talking that real football stuff, man. That's about it. And I appreciate y'all having me on. So thank you.
Come on again anytime. You're more than welcome. You're one of my favorites. Keeps it real. That's what we need on this dumbass app.
All day, every day, man. If you don't want to, if you can't keep it real in real life, you might as well do it on the app.
For real.
Love it.
People can't pull up on you on Twitter, so you might as well keep it real. You ain't gonna get your ass up on Twitter. But yeah,
Steph, where can we find you?
You can find me at StephieSmalls. I revert back to 3 L's. We can all talk about it later. But yeah.
Wait, you went back to 3 L's?
Yeah, it's a long story. But we also have to finish our announcements, but we can let Laura get out of here before we do that, so we're not eating up his time.
Yeah, y'all eating up now, just playing. Y'all take it easy, man.
Seriously, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate it. Anytime. Yeah. Okay.
All right, you ready?
I'm so excited.
Wait. We should probably tweet this out. They're making a big announcement.
Okay. Tweet it.
While I'm doing this, let's go ahead and just throw in an ad for a second. Everybody stay tuned. We have a huge announcement coming on.
Huge.
I want to make sure everybody actually joins in to hear this.
Or whatever the fuck are.
Hey,
he's not really my president anymore, but
hit up our group chats while I share to the other groups.
Come prop up on Thrive Fantasy this season. Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy show app for player props. They've eliminated the need to do countless hours of research because they only ask you about the top tier athletes. Choose 10 out of the 20 player props for the NFL options to build your lineup. Use promo code CIRCLE when you sign up today, and you will receive an instant match bonus up to $50 on your first deposit of 20 or more. For those of you who struggle at math, that would mean if you deposit 20, you will get 40, 30 gives you 60, 40 gives you 80, all the way up to that $50, $100 bonus. Again, use promo code CIRCLE to get that bonus. Download Thrive Fantasy on the App Store today or Play Store, or by visiting their website, www.thrivefantasy.com. Sign up and hashtag prop up today.
We're missing somebody. I don't know where she went, but listen, hey, it is what it is. So we're sitting here. We're about to go through a couple huge announcements. A lineup that's going to blow people's minds, and I'm very, very excited for it.
I'm sorry, guys. My bladder is getting older than me, or something. I don't know.
That was really fast. I'm actually kind of impressed.
Okay, I really had to go. Okay, we can go. Kaya, I know it's exciting.
I'm going Diggs.
Okay.
No, actually.
So we announced during the show that on Friday, on Dave's new show. Go.
Wait, you're gonna go. So we have a couple of huge guests coming on throughout the season, and I'm not going to sit there and name them all, but over this next week we actually have a great lineup. Well, 8 days we have a great lineup.
So fun.
Of course, we have Case on tomorrow night, and possibly LQ, depending on if his laptop gets fixed. Trying to figure out what's going on with that. And I love our Wednesday shows, so you guys, obviously know I do. But on Friday, right? Oh, and by the way, we also have, I believe, Anthony Servino on with Josh Brickner to cover up Thursday in our brand new game show that we're going to launch. We did our debut on Monday as a test run. Thursday night, yes.
Wait, am I on tomorrow?
You're on tomorrow, yes.
Okay, Go ahead.
Thursday night, we have our debut game show. I will not be on that. However, Anthony Severino, I believe, will be on along with Josh Brickner and, of course, Nate and James, a.k.a. the chef.
Can he wear the outfit again?
James isn't the host. It's going to actually be Nate trying to stump James this time. So
okay, well then Nate, you need an outfit.
Nate, you need an outfit. All right, so then let's go ahead and let's talk about Friday, where we have Nate Liss coming on. Nate Liss over there from, as you guys know, the Road to Underworld Fantasy Podcast, coming on with Dave and StephieSmalls. I'm sorry, wait, what did I say?
You said Nate something. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ian, I apologize, guys. Ian Artist.
We've had a lot of really late nights. That's not what's happening. We're going to go back.
This whole past week has been absolutely
on Friday, Dave is launching his new show with
Ian Hartitz. Thank you very much. And then on Monday. I don't know what Monday is, so I want to say Wednesday, though. Mike Tagliere is joining our show with Dave and I. We're doing a show with Dave, Mike Tagliere, and myself, and I cannot wait. I am very excited for this one.
So fun.
Mike Tagliere over there at Fantasy Pros is one of the best in the business. I am very, very excited. And then, of course, we have Wednesday.
Let me say it.
No, don't say it.
Yes, on Wednesday.
Say it.
On
say
Wednesday.
It.
Why?
At what time?
5 p.m. Eastern.
And where?
Mountain Standard.
And where can they find us?
They can find us on YouTube, Fantasy Intervention, at Join Our Circle _ on Twitter. And on Wednesday, we're going to have Jason Moore on.
Wait, who?
Jason Moore.
Jason Moore from where?
I'm too excited.
The Fantasy Footballers and the Spitballers podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Really
the Fantasy Footballers and the Spitballers podcast.
Like I say I'm a fangirl of everyone, but I'm actually a fangirl of his. Like when I first started, this is what I listened to. It's so great. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're very, very excited to announce this. It's going to be
so fun.
One of our favorite ones. You know, we had, of course, Matt Miller on a couple weeks ago, which was absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to actually post the podcast, and I'm going to do it. I just haven't had time. Cannot wait.
I almost peed my pants during it, so I'm going to use the restroom before all of these.
Oh, please do. Please do.
I'm going to.
And Steph, you get to be on, 2 of the 3. I get to be on 2 of the 3. Dave gets to be on 2 of the 3. It all works out, right?
It all works out. It's all working out.
I'm excited for everything that's happening right now. Yeah. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. We have a bunch of great guests coming on after that. Ryan McDowell's going to be one of them. I believe we're talking to a few other people that have not confirmed yet, but should be on the show.
I slid in some DMs today too. So
stop sliding into things, Steph. Come on.
Why? I don't know how to
you can keep sliding in. You can keep sliding in.
Wow. I don't think it works like that, but maybe Taylor can help explain to me internal and external, and then
how to flick a bean. I mean, wait, do something with beans? What?
Baked beans? I don't know.
Baked beans. That's what it is. Yeah. Anyways, I'm very, very excited to come across an announcement. We're growing over there at Fantasy Intervention. Please make sure you guys go check us out. YouTube.com/Fantasy Intervention. Oh my God.
Don't tell me to stop, Taylor. Are you rude?
This is amazing. We appreciate you guys for coming out. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you guys for subscribing to youtube.com/Fantasy Intervention.
Please subscribe, hit like. Also follow us on Twitter at Join Our Circle _. We've been talking about doing a giveaway at 2K, and we're quickly approaching. So we just haven't decided what.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna be doing a giveaway. We actually need to figure it out.
We're gonna get a Kool-Aid tattoo on his ass if we get to 2K followers.
No, stop. We're gonna send out a T-shirt or something. We might buy somebody an elephant. We'll figure
How about a tattoo and a T-shirt? Yes. Please.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you guys for tuning in once again, and thank you guys for letting us intervene with your fantasy football life. We're out.
Yeah, I was close. I almost got it.